Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I will be taking you on a world tour of the best restaurants to eat. Let's begin. Starting in Canada, Curtis is the very first one. Papa's Pizza Land. In my opinion, that is the best pizza in Curtis. Now, Oshawa, there is a lot of pizza and pasta. When I had my spine surgery, my aunt Sherry and cousin Marcus brought it over for me for, for us for dinner. I loved it because Italian is right up my alley. And then we have Avanti's, which is another Italian restaurant. And then there is the Jube, which at the Jube, the owner got me hooked on their dessert there. It is so good. And then we have the Thornton Arms. Now, Whitby, we have Brothers Italian Restaurant. We have State and Main, which I really like their flatbread there. We have the Royal Oak, and then we also have La Villa, which is a Japanese place where you can book a table that they make your food directly in front of you. Man, is that cool. Now, Ajax. Ajax, we have McGuire's Pub. I really like the atmosphere at McGuire's. It's really nice. Bowmanville, there is Frosty John's Pub and a stone's throw. Now let me tell you a quick story about Frosty John's. Firstly, I've been there lots of times, and secondly, I did a presentation at a school on cerebral palsy, and after I was a guest speaker at the school, my parents took me to Frosty's to celebrate how well I did with that presentation. Newcastle, the Walsh's Snug Pub. Now for about 10 years or so, every year before the Santa Claus parade, we would eat at the Snug Pub, and one year I happened to be in the Santa Claus parade. How cool is that? Scarborough, the black dog. I remember vividly taking my grandmother there, and they had the best liver and onions at the black dog. Toronto. Now, the restaurant I am about to mention for Toronto is no longer there on the map, but that restaurant is Johnny Rockets, and boy, did Johnny Rockets ever have the best ever milkshakes. Buckhorn has a restaurant called Main Street Landing, and they have some pizza rolls there that are very good, and every time we go there, that's what I get. Fenland Falls has a restaurant with a really nice atmosphere. It's called My Place on Cameron Lake. Brighton has a really nice restaurant called The Whistling Duck with a really nice atmosphere and a really nice patio. And the final restaurant in Canada is in Muskoka. It is called The Water's Edge. It has an extremely nice view. Moving on to the restaurants that I have loved in Florida. The first one is Carver's, then Olive Garden, then a seafood restaurant called The Conch, and then an Italian eatery called GP's, then Sloppy Joe's, and then lastly, the Doubletree, which is a restaurant directly on the beach. Those are some pretty nice views on the beach at the Doubletree. Oops, I forgot the Salt Rock Grill, also in Florida. In Florida, there is also a restaurant called the Home of Pierogies. I love pierogies. In Mexico, we stayed at the Valentine Resort in the Maya Rivera, and there we stayed. There we went to a couple of very fancy restaurants. Like, we went to an Italian restaurant there that I had lasagna that literally melted in my mouth. It was so good. And then we also went to a French restaurant in Mexico that I had a really fancy dessert. They were called white chocolate cannolis, and I also remember that we went to a Japanese restaurant, which was also pretty fancy. All of the restaurants we went to in Mexico were fancy. In Italy, we went to some really fancy places, and we went to Italy for my Make-A-Wish trip. And while we were there, one of the places we went was a glass restaurant that there was glass all around you. It was really beautiful and fancy, and there was also a really nice gelato place, which I believe was right down the street or very close to where we stayed in Italy. If you guys liked today's video, as always, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget, please, to hit that big red subscribe button down below, and always remember, dreams are possible.